when your chapter in leadership closes, whether that's at 25 years old or 65 years old, will people say you protected your seat or that you opened doors? Fragility isn't failure. Fragility is courage under pressure, and the courage to choose differently, even when the risk is real, is how leaders change stories. This week, don't wait for the perfect moment. Open the door for one person. Speak up with one idea. Take one step across the glass bridge. Are you ready to unlock growth, build resilience, and confidently take the next step in leadership, career, and faith? Welcome to The Next Move. I'm Orvin Kimbrough, a CEO, author, and leader with a passion for helping people and organizations thrive. My journey from foster care to CEO has fueled my mission to help professionals scale their confidence, leadership, and influence through mindset shifts, expanded networks, and bold action. Each week, I'll share reflections ripped straight from my blog to inspire and empower you with actionable insights. Let's get started and make your next move your best move. I remember a moment when opening a door for someone else nearly cost me my credibility. I wondered, if I take this risk, will people question whether I even deserve to be in the room myself? That's the dilemma many leaders of color face. It's where leadership feels fragile, but it is also where leadership can become where leadership can become transformative. Welcome back to The Next Move, the podcast where we explore faith, leadership, and personal growth to help you take your next step with purpose and confidence. Folks, I'm your host, Orvin Kimbrough. I am so grateful you are here today. Today's episode is called Fragile Leadership. I'm listening to you. Today's episode is called Fragile Leadership, the weight of choosing differently. Okay, let's go. So years ago, I got a call from a young Black attorney who wanted to know how he could get into the network of vendors United Way used. I was new in the top leadership role, and I had already committed to breaking open the system, to making it more equitable. Folks, on paper, it seemed like a no-brainer. In practice, it felt fragile. I can still feel the pressure in my chest. If I took a chance on someone who didn't have the legacy track record others expected, and he stumbled, it wouldn't just reflect on him. It would reflect on me. Come on, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's the fragility of leadership. Not the systems, but mine. And that tension followed me. Whether it was hiring, contracting, or later in banking, I felt the double standard. For majority leaders, their networks are assumed competent. For leaders of color, our networks are assumed questionable. The hurdle is higher. Come on. The hurdle is higher. The risks are heavier. I once asked a community leader. This was just before I came over to the bank. I asked a community leader who banked with a national institution why he required me to prove myself while the larger bank never had to. And this was all in the course of a conversation where I said, hey, you should bank with us. You should consider banking with us. And he said, you have to prove yourself. His answer was vague, but the message was clear. For me, the bar was always higher. And that stung. Folks, it stung, but it also clarified something for me. It clarified something for me. In those moments, I would come back to Micah 6:8. What does the Lord require of you? What does the Lord require of me? To act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. It doesn't say do what is safest. It says act justly. Leadership will always test us at the intersection of risk and justice. Maybe playing it safe might preserve your seat, but choosing courage, choosing differently, opens the door for others. Now, maybe, just maybe you are early in your career. You're not deciding vendor contracts or leading an entire organization yet. I said yet. You're not leading yet. But fragile leadership shows up in your world too. It's a part of the scripts that we play in the backgrounds of our hearts and minds. Perhaps it's speaking up in a room when you're the youngest voice. You don't want to do that. Perhaps it's putting forward an idea that no one else is championing. You don't feel comfortable doing it. Perhaps it's vouching for a colleague who others may overlook. Perhaps it is asking for responsibility. Come on. Asking for responsibility beyond your title, because you have learned that once you do the thing that you are hired to do well, that you are supposed to look up and ask for more responsibility. But every time you step out, there's that voice. There's that voice that says, if I stumble, will it confirm what they already think about me? That's the fragility, and that's also the opportunity. Leadership at every level is like walking across a glass bridge. You can see the opportunity on the other side, but every step feels risky because others are watching to see if it cracks. And yet, if you don't take the step, you'll never cross. I hope you caught that. So here's my question for you. When your chapter in leadership closes, whether that's at 25 years old or 65 years old, will people say you protected your seat or that you opened doors? Fragility isn't failure. Fragility isn't failure. Fragility is courage under pressure, and the courage to choose differently, even when the risk is real, is how leaders change stories. So this week, don't wait for the perfect moment. Open the door for one person. Speak up with one idea. Take one step across the glass bridge. Thanks for listening to The Next Move. If this message encouraged you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And remember that your next move matters. Make today great. Thank you for tuning in to The Next Move. I hope today's reflection inspired you to take the next step in your leadership, career, or faith journey. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need a little encouragement this week. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like more reflections or resources, visit orvinkimbrough.com or theaccidentalbanker.com. Until next time, remember, every step you take brings you closer to thriving. Let's keep moving forward together.